I'm standing in front of the NGK church. Yeah, there we are. And I'm just trying to show you the steeple because it's absolutely magnificent. The stained glass windows and the wood, and inside with all the bunkies and the little domed roof. Now, you can't really see the domed roof from here, but there's copper, né? And inside there's the banisters which are full of copper, and then the stone is sandstone, made from the local sandstone. Now, the stone is very heavy, and this is a big piece of property. And under the ground is very clay. So the church keeps cracking. So they had to keep putting reinforcement structures in. Now you can see the little dorpie of Kroonstad in the Free State was actually discovered. Well, it wasn't really discovered, but there was an Irishman who had actually settled here. And then it was such a good farming community that this little town was born in about the 1850. And then, of course, when there's a town, there's always a church. Because the church in that time was a sense of community, a sense of strength, of course a sense of spirituality, but also a sense of entertainment. Because the life was pretty grim, you know. We didn't have this internet and this funny little gedoentjies and this little camera and stuff. So they would come and they would have gatherings, they would have prayer meetings, they would have the outreach programs to help people in the community. Of course, the Afrikaans, because the NGK church was very big in that time, and then it ended up splitting, and there was another NGK church that was built on the other side of town, because this church is actually the third building that was here. The ground has been part of the NGK community since 1850, but this building behind me was finished in 1912. They had another little stone building, which of course they demolished to make way for this bigger church. At the moment, there's about 600 community members that belong to this congregation, and that's including including children. And you see, it's still a sense of community, and even though the recent lockdown and the COVID, it seems to be thriving and very well maintained. I met a man who was fixing the roof, and we talked a little bit about the building, and it was just, I get so excited. Maar dis net 'n klip steen. Ja, dis 'n klomp steen, but I still love it. I still love the fact that this is standing way over 100 years and is still looking so good, né? Much like me. On opening the side door of this beautiful sandstone building, it just gave me so much goosebumps. I take a few steps, né? And into the whole center part of the church, and I was forced to look up. The copper dome is stunning, and in the middle of this there is a window that looks like it's shining up into the heavens. There's the magnificent organ there, which you hear playing in the background. It's not my recording, I got it on the internet, but it's absolutely magnificent. Unfortunately, I couldn't press the play. I had to go and investigate up on the top level to see what it looked like. And all the chairs on the bottom were replaced, and the ones that were on the bottom level are now sitting on the top level. The staircase is beautifully framed with the stained glass windows, and unfortunately the pictures don't really do it justice. See the light that shines down into the main center of the church. It's just quite breathtaking. And of course I was curious. I had to hear this bell that I heard when I got there, and the date is stamped 1871 and is made by Warner and Sons in London. It seems like this bell was used on the original church property. The beautiful doors and the original iron key is used to this day to unlock the front door. I loved my time inside this church, and I want to just thank those lovely aunties from the office that showed me around and told me a bit about the dominies. And then of course, I want to say thank you to Isuzu and LM Radio for my car.